Software started as an R&D work, but as we start to earn more and more money, we brought in MBAs. Let's be realistic, the time is not going well for tech professionals, especially the senior ones. News of layoffs, especially where they are asked to leave immediately, is disturbing. And at the same time, billions of dollars are spent on building something which is gonna kill the knowledge job industry as we know it. Yes, I am talking about AI, and pretty much everyone attribute these job losses to AI as of today. Most, if not all. But today, at least today, this is not the primary reason. And for some weird reason, nobody is looking at the actual reasons behind it, which anyone can find by asking a few questions. So let me talk about that. Around 25-30 years back, when software started to become a mainstream entity, every company in the world decided to transform itself into a software company. No matter what they were doing, they become a software company plus whatever they were doing. So much so that even today, if you want to manufacture, even a screwdriver or some parts of the car, you will have to become a software company first, even before shipping your first screwdriver. And since these massive work that was required to convert every company into software company generated a lot of jobs. Not only jobs, a full-fledged industry was created because of this. Once this happened, then migration to cloud came into picture. Now every company want to be a cloud company also, in a sense that they will have their things in the cloud. That also generated a lot of jobs. But once these things are achieved, all companies have become a software company. All companies have migrated to cloud, whether they're in-house or AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud. There is no mass scale work that is there right now. It's saturated. There is no new industry which is not yet a software industry. There is nothing left to migrate or convert. There is no new set of industries are coming for which we need lots of manpower to move them to software, and we are not moving from cloud to galaxy or space, right? So pretty much all of the things are done and things are saturated now. And if you Google what's the number of software developers today, I don't know what's the exact number as of now, but maybe a few months back I checked, it was around 28-29 million people. Now, post saturation, if you look into these numbers, as uncomfortable as it sounds, maybe we are far too many. And what happens when things are in abundance? Its value goes down. You may still be valuable, you are still doing a very valuable work, but the overall value goes down. And with the arrival of AI and automation, the value goes down further. If software or tech professional was listed in stock market, we would have been bleeding by now. That's one of the reasons I believe why we are seeing what we are seeing today. But the second reason is even more interesting. Software started as an R&D work. But as we start to earn more and more money, we brought in MBAs. When I say MBA, it's not only about degree, it's all about the old school management thought process. Look, disclaimer, big respect to all the MBAs and all the management people for whatever they are doing. But you have learned from a business school which has worked on a business use cases which is not at all compatible with any R&D work. Forget about software R&D work. R&D and business management, they are different poles altogether. And in retrospect, if I go back and see, this was one of the biggest mistake we did in software R&D. Because you cannot control R&D. Innovation is not incremental. You cannot squeeze people to do innovation and creative work within some cycle. But management wanted to have control because They wanted to show something great is happening and we are extracting everything out of all individuals we are dealing with. And they achieved this by breaking our work, breaking R&D work into such a smaller chunks where people working in some chunk were not even knowing the big picture. Forget about knowing, they didn't even have the zeal of knowing the big picture. Think about it. Requirement will be given to someone, passed to someone, broken down by someone, verified by someone else, and signed by someone else, budgeted by someone else, developed by someone else, tested by someone else, used by someone else, beta testing by someone else, customer is someone else. You have broken down things into so many chunks that an intuitive flow of work got dismantled like anything. And as the organization size grows, this created a bureaucratic hell. And with the arrival of AI, this bureaucratic hell is no longer required. Now you can do things fast. You don't need hundreds of approvals. Instead of wasting time in getting hundreds of approvals, you can do hundreds of iterations with AI. The main idea of having all these checklists was to prevent something wrong from happening, or maybe taking a not so good decision, not a business appropriate decisions. But those things are no longer required. Today, a product manager and a developer don't need to, spend weeks convincing each other about a particular way of doing things. You can have more than one way of doing things. You can see the results and then select one of them based on the data. So what this will lead to? Job losses. So, based on my 25 years of experience, these are the two main reasons why things are happening the way it is happening. Now, coming back to the point of AI is going to take job or not. Somehow I am of the opinion that let's go back to our original R&D way of working, and then it will be a fair comparison. Because before AI came into picture, we were doing the things in a flow the way we want to do it with AI today. Of course, we were taking a lot of time because we were doing things manually. With AI, we can do things, exceptionally fast. But fast is going to replace that thought process behind the work. We'll still have to see. It may or may not, but let me give you a honest suggestion. Something that is going to happen in future, we don't know yet. So arguing either from this side or that side will not yield any results. So any argument you will get into is a waste of time. Look at the data, understand yourself, and prepare yourself. Do hope and believe that this video was useful to all of you. Thank you all. Thanks for watching. Good day, goodbye. You take care.